look at all that money, yeah, the money that they spend. Take another look now and take some time for hemp. I don't cut trees for paper, cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yeah, it's time for hemp. Whoa, an acre of hemp makes 20 barrels of oil. No need for pesticides to poison all our soil. People got no food, they got no clothes, they got no rent. Well, right now it's time for hemp.
2012 with Casper and friends, we are doing a fun smoke out, and one of the things that makes this event so amazing are the hardworking people that roll up their sleeves and volunteer their time to do everything from booking guests to picking up the trash to making sure that the vendors have the lights turned on, the tents are up, security's in, all these things that need to be paid attention to even raising funds to have the next year's event to be an amazing event. And it takes more than just Vivian McPeak to make that happen. And Vivian's got a big family of friends that surround him with lots of love and lots of care and lots of time. And some of these people are in the room right now smoking out with Casper and friends at the Seattle Hempfest. And it'd be nice if we could get a chance to say our names and hello and how long you've been part of the movement. And let's go from, how's it go? Pass around? Okay, how's this? Pass the bowl before you say a hit. Yeah, before you say a hit, yeah, say your name, what you do.
Andrew from Toronto. I'm with Diamonds. I've been blazing since high school. Party on.
And Diamonds is what?
Diamonds is a band from Toronto. They're on the main stage. We're gonna be rocking it tonight.
Awesome.
Yeah,
and the kind of music, talk like you don't say, the kind of music
hard
that you
rock, it's like hard rock, you know, he's a guitar player right there, TK.
Nice. And you got a URL?
Yeah, diamonds.net. Yeah, right, diamonds.net.
And let me remind people, they don't make money by free downloads, so if you like their work, make it a point to go and spend a little bit of cash at their website and buy their CD and let it ring to your house so that all your friends can enjoy the music and up to also
check out Skullfist from Toronto, they're great.
They rock. And this gentleman is?
Hi, I'm Granddaddy Mike. I'm up here from Oakland at Hempfest. I've been in the movement, well, I've been in the industry for 46 years. I'm just here because I brought the Cherry Cola, which is the High Time Cannabis Cup winner from San Francisco.
That's this right here?
Up here to Hempfest to share with these folks.
Tastes nice,
It's
too.
amazing.
So they can
It's so good.
So they could get an idea of what we've got going down there and to help, you know, encourage unity in the community. That's what I'm about.
And what got you involved in the marijuana movement to begin with, a long time ago, or yesterday, or when?
I smoked weed.
That was it?
Yeah, as soon as I smoked weed, I was in love with it. As soon as I smoked weed, I realized, you know, the preamble of the Constitution that gives us life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, as far as I was concerned, it made me happy. So I'm pursuing it. And I suggest you do too, because it'll probably help you.
And I want to thank you on behalf of the marijuana movement for standing shoulder to shoulder with us and raising our voice. And you, sir, you're part of the team in what way?
Oh, I'm a stagehand. My name's Mike. I'm from Seattle.
Don't bogart that.
I'm a local 15 union stagehand, just down here volunteering.
Get that joke.
Sounds good.
Bogarting
You
it.
good?
Yeah, no,
So I do it because I believe in the whole, the use of industrial hemp and the medical use and the recreational use and not spending money on taxes to put people in prison. Marijuana is the smartest plant.
And working as a stagehand at this event, you've met a lot of great people and a lot of interesting speakers, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
I could go on and give a speech myself.
Well, then why don't you look at the camera and tell people why it is that next year they need to come to the Seattle Hempfest?
Next year it might be legal. We have it on the ballot this year in this city to vote for recreational marijuana.
Fucking
You know,
right.
that's not all that I believe in. No, I don't believe in plastics too much, and we could make a lot of products with hemp. It's not even, you don't even get high with that kind of weed. That's ditch weed. You can't even get rid of it down south, you know. So a lot of 250 industrial uses basically. We all have plastic in our bloodstreams from the Dows and the DuPonts who wanted it legislated out in the beginning. The forests have been deforested. We can make paper out of hemp. We can do a lot. We can feed people with hemp. I just think there's a lot of good reasons. You know, I'm 53 years old and I've never been hospitalized and never been really sick or anything. So maybe someday we'll find out that we should have hemp in our body.
Exactly. seems the more I smoke it, the longer I live, the more I am around to hear about research that tells me the reason why I'm living so long is because I've been smoking marijuana. And you, sir, you're with this groovy band called Diamonds as well, is that right?
Yeah, I play guitar for Diamonds. We're a hard rock band from Toronto. And this is our first time ever here at Hempfest, and I've only been here, just got in already. I'm blown away with the sense of family and unity. Everyone's here for the same purpose. It's a really, really cool feeling. I've never been to an event like this. It's very interesting. It's an honor to be able to play among so many cool musicians and to play for such an amazing audience, an audience of like-minded individuals who take this seriously. That's it. It feels cool to play to people who want to be that company now.
Yeah, I heard a lot of bands apply to be part of this.
Yeah. There's a huge application process, and we were like fortunate enough. I heard it was this like thousands and thousands of applications, and we were fortunate enough to get asked to play. Of course, we said yes. We're on a tour right now. We flew out of our way to come here just for this. It was like we're not missing this. It was not happening. We were in Southern California last night. We flew out right after we played the game. We came here right away. We were not missing. We were not missing this for anything.
Thank you so much.
Job well done. Thanks for the extra effort.
Oh man, we're stoked to play.
And you also are part of the volunteer team here at the Seattle Hempfest.
Yes.
McLeod.
I'm Melissa Heisem. I do main stage here with Vivian McPeak. I also do Canada's Freedom March every year here in Seattle. So it's been...
Miss McKelly, one of us, and it's time to roll something.
There we go. There's our cut. There's our cut.
Granddaddy Mike.
I forgot to ask you, don't you have a thing on the internet that you do?
I do. I have a podcast called High Times Presents Free Weed from Danny Danko.
Nice. And how can people find that?
You can go to hightimes.com/freeweed, and you can go to SoundCloud and listen to it for free. We've got 27 episodes so far, and we're chugging along.
And they can find your archives there, so all your past guests can see that.
All the past guests, we've had Dr. Lester Grinspoon and a bunch of growers from around the world, a lot of the breeders who've won the Cannabis Cups. And, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And sometime you might even have Paul Stafford on the program.
Absolutely.
And
Paul
maybe
Stafford.
even, what's my name?
Leitch.
Casper Leitch on that program. What's it called?
Free Weed from Danny Danko.
Uh-huh. And you have a great day here at the Seattle Hempfest. Thank you. I forgot about that. All right, thank you and hello and happy Saturday from the Seattle Hempfest 2012. I'm hanging out here with Steve DeAngelo and Dr. Bob Melamede, and it rocks to have my friends hanging out here. And you guys have been pioneering an awful lot in the marijuana movement, whether you wanted to or not. I mean, you realized that your patients needed to have the medication were being deprived, and you, the IRS, was trying to shut down businesses with a stamp. So how do you guys keep going after all these years?
Oh, well, you know, it's quite simple. I think both of us were called by this plant, and, you know, once you're called, you're not released until you get there.
Is that it, Mary Jane?
That's basically it. I mean, for me, it's a scientific calling. I like to learn and to understand how life works, and this plant and our endocannabinoid system that the plant acts on is how life works.
And it's got a nice community to it. That's why we're out here smoking out together as a one big happy family. People say that, you know, if you re-legalize marijuana, you're going to have a bunch of stoners going wild. We're not going wild, are we?
No, I think that we're in perfect balance here, right?
Yeah, but look at how wild other stoners, probable stoners were, like Jefferson and Washington, and the horrible things that they did.
Or wait, who was that guy? President Obama. That's right. President Obama. Yeah.
Yeah, but so unfortunately, he's not creating.
Well, he's
a
in
world of
denial.
freedom.
He's in denial.
Well, and then
we know what's wrong. The poor guy
He hasn't smoked
has
enough.
terrible cannabis deficiency syndrome here. It's a perfect
exactly.
example of what happens when people stop ingesting enough cannabis.
And Bill Clinton, don't forget Bill Clinton. Right.
And the longer he goes with it, the crazier he gets, right?
Our president, that's right. And didn't Jack Kennedy have it in the White House too?
Who knows?
I think.
Who
Anyway.
knows?
Oh, are you kidding? Cannabis has been in every single White House. I guarantee you there's not a White House that has happened that cannabis hasn't been in it in one form or another.
Now, has it not been a mind boggle for you working in Washington, D.C. to drive by these medical marijuana dispensaries in Washington, D.C.?
Well, I'm in Colorado.
Yeah, but you said you've been
DC?
working there, though, right?
Yeah.
And then our politicians drive by them, and then they go into the Congress and they outlaw what they're.
They don't have real dispensaries there. They don't have Harborside, for
No?
example.
Well, in fact,
not
the
yet.
dispensaries
Not yet.
are not yet open in Washington, D.C.
No.
They're still going through getting permitted and getting open. So hopefully a year from now, that will be happening. And you're right, it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen when Congress people hopefully not only just go past the dispensaries, but get invited to go in them and see what's really going on. And hopefully that's when we win their support.
Exactly. Now,
I mean, I'd love to have a Harborside in Washington, D.C. and move them all through there, you know.
Now we've only got a couple more minutes of your time, and I want to make the most of it. People out there want to know how they can get involved, how they can make a difference, what they can do. Any idea from your?
Sure, go to saveharborside.org. That's saveharborside.org. There's complete instructions there on how to plug in. And if that doesn't give you enough activism, then go to safeaccessnow.org, Americans for Safe Access, and they'll put you to work after that.
And Dr. Melamede, how can people get involved in the medical aspect?
Well, I would say everybody's going to make sure they contact their congresspeople. That's the only way, both state and local, and let them know your opinions so that they also know that their future, their electability is dependent on them acting the right way. That's the scientifically sound, nationally healthy way.
Yeah, exactly right. If you haven't seen the inside of your elected representative's office, then you're not serious about changing the law.
It's absolutely true.
And you guys have been on my program. I don't know how many times you like the family here, and I want to thank you for taking time here at the Seattle Hempfest to smoke out with Casper and friends.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Casper.
And good luck to you in all you do. We'll be back more later.
All right.
Gotta go party.
So Stevie.
Hi, I'm Casper Leitch.
And I'm Jeremiah Vandermeer.
I'm with Time for Hemp.
And I'm the editor of Cannabis Culture Magazine.
And we want you to take
Time for Hemp, baby.
Thank you, and we are here having fun with our friends at the Cannabis, well, what is it, Seattle Hempfest?
Seattle Hempfest 2012.
Sorry, I've been smoking this, I forget where I'm at.
Good stuff.
And it happens to be 4:20 Saturday afternoon, and Jeremiah and I
are hitting the good stuff, Seattle style.
We are taking time for a hemp, and we want everybody out there to know we're having fun here. There's a lot of great speakers here, and Vivian McPeak has kicked ass to make a great presentation here. Everybody's doing what they can to have a pleasant time. And we want you to find this little thing on the internet called cannabisculture.com.
Cannabisculture.com and pot.tv. You can find all kinds of marijuana news, views, and pretty much everything else you can think of on there.
Pot TV's been around for a while, and they were stagnant for a minute or two, but now they're getting new material out.
In fact, Pot TV's back and better than ever. We got tons of live shows every week, recorded stuff. Tons of content. Thanks, Casper.
And they've also been re-releasing some of the original content that came out on Pot TV that's considered classic to help people be aware of what it was that made it so good the first time around.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And thank you to Chris Bennett for doing such an amazing job at that. And now you're bringing new material to Pot TV. What are you bringing to Pot TV that's going to make people go, wow, I love Pot TV?
Well, I do a show every week called Cannabis Culture News Live, and we have an entire lineup of live programming all week long, actually, several days a week. So there's tons of great content, and of course we have basically anything that you can find. We archive stuff from the internet, other things, videos about pot, what's happening in the pot community. So it's quite the hub for everything that's happening in the pot community.
Well, we want to thank you again. I'm Casper Leitch.
And I'm Jeremiah Vandermeer.
And you are listening to
Time for Hemp.
And remember, Seattle Hempfest 2012 was what? The best party ever!
Hell yeah. Until next year, that is.
That is.
Thanks, Casper.
Rolling.
I didn't know if you wanted to go. It's that. That's
Rolling.
Okay, DJ Stone.
Rolling.
Got it. All right.
Rolling.
Ready?
Rolling.
2, 3. We are here with Casper and friends at the Seattle Hempfest. One of my groovy friends is DJ Stone. He's got a magazine that rocks, and I would encourage you to go out and pick up a copy if you can. And why don't you let people know about your magazine, DJ?
1000 Watts is available online at 1000watts.info. You can get copies of our past issues and stuff. We started this about 2 years ago with my friends from High Times here. Danny Danko and Dan Sky came out and helped us launch our first edition. We'd like to encourage you to go to our website at 1000watts.info. We're a medical marijuana. What we decided to do is to bring all this information together. As a patient, I had a hard time finding out all the right things and all the truth. And that's what 1000 Watts is about, printing the truth about what's happening in the medical marijuana industry. It's a growing industry. There's a lot of tales out there. There's a lot of misconceptions. And every month we put in a strain review, we put in a recipe, we try to specialize a little bit on one disease. We did a couple of issues on cancer. We did 3-part stories on cancer. And there's a lot of misinformation out there on what's really going on. And that's all we're trying to do is bring together all this information. And wow, I'm learning more than I ever can. And that's why I'm here, because every day I learn something new.
Well, my question is, and what got you involved in the marijuana movement? What was it that drew you into? Did you see that the laws were unjust? Was it that the industrial farming needed to come back in your eyes? What was it that made you say, oh, I got to make this part of my path in life?
To be truthful, what really happened is I was hanging around at mass can freedom rallies up in Boston for a few years, but I kept saying, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, and I really didn't. I own a construction company, and I worked a lot of hours. Well, 3 years ago I retired, and I sat down with a copy of a newspaper called West Coast Leaf, and I says, why don't we have East Coast Leaf? And hence 1000 Watts was born. And that's what happened. I said, we started out as a New England publication. Our first issue, we published 1,000 copies.
Rock on.
We just sent an issue to the printer on Wednesday. We're printing 60,000 copies.
Nice.
And there's still another 20, 30,000. You can download it free on our website at 1000watts.info. And we're going to hook up with these guys in High Times and spend the weekend at the Hempfest, introduce people to 1000 Watts, talk to some of these scientists, find out the new future of where this industry is going.
And you did mention the West Coast Leaf, so let me say hello to Chris Conrad and Mickey Norris. They do an awesome job of getting the truth out about how important it is to end prohibition. So does another great individual who's been involved in the marijuana movement for a very long time, Todd McCormick. He's got a new book out that you want to mention, right?
Yeah, I stopped at Todd's. Every time I come over to the West Coast, I got to stop in and see Todd and all his friends down there at Oaksterdam University. Todd gave me a copy of a new book. Him and Viv worked together. Todd got the credits for putting this together with Viv. The 20 years of the Seattle Hempfest and the history of.
And it's a great read. I've looked through it. Lots of great images that you want to make it a point to have part of your library. Even though you can see some of this stuff online, believe me, to have the hard copy, it's very nice as a gift, and it's very nice to add to your library.
It also has a CD in the back. Free CD.
Nice.
No prison for marijuana.
And Todd's also got some other great books out too, right?
Todd's got some other books out. He's working on a movie deal. Him and his buddies just put together a thing from Kickstarter, and they raised $240,000 to do a movie on the medical industry and what's happening in the medical marijuana industry and what's happened in the movement. And that's going to be coming out in CD and forms, and I'm not going to tell you too much about it because I want Todd to tell everybody. It's coming out soon though. So watch for things happening with Todd McCormick and a lot of the people from Hemp Fest.
And we just had Todd on the program about a month ago. He was on with Paul Stanford, and you can find that in our archives at timeforhemp.com. So I want to remind people to check out on AmericanFreedomRadio.com every Monday through Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. DJ, has been a lot of fun smoking out with you. I like having fun with my friends here at the Seattle Hempfest.
Hey, I wish you
my
guys
first
the best of
Hempfest.
luck.
And,
This is mine too. My first.
Rocks.
But don't forget, we got the Cannabis Cup coming up in Seattle too next month.
All right, so everybody.
September 17th and 18th, I think.
Have a happy day in paradise. Thank you. Oh, yes, we don't want to. That's marijuana abuse, so we don't finish this. Goodbye. Hey, Casper and friends, partying down at the Seattle Hempfest 2012, and we're checking out all the different booths and people that come by and all the vendors that are going on. We had a chance to come into an interesting tent called, family nudist?
We're a fraternity Snoqualmie. We're a family nudist park up in Tiger Mountain.
Nice, a family nudist park up in Tiger Mountain. I was in Germany, spent some time there, and there's a lot of great places there in Germany where you can have the same type of recreation. And why is it that you're here at the Seattle Hempfest?
We've come down here for a few years, my husband and I, and we thought this is a great place to meet open-minded people that just aren't limited by the box, you know, thinking outside the box. So many young men and women running around half scantily clad, they need to know we're there. Everyone's saying we don't know there's a nudist park in Seattle. Well, better let them know.
And in the marijuana movement, we're always said, well, we got to keep it away from the children, we got to keep it away from the kids. And your park promotes family.
We do.
Nudity.
We're family-oriented. We're behind a gate. Everyone goes through a Washington State sex offenders check just to get on the property. That way we can feel safe bringing our children. I have a 5-week-old that comes up all the time with me. My family was raised up there. I was raised up there. People like to say hi and bye on the basis, I guess. I am going to be...
Well, you know, we appreciate you being here at the Hemp Fest, and it's really interesting to meet people like you who are open-minded and are part of a different culture and a different way of expressing yourself with freedom. If you had just one more reason to invite people down to the Seattle Hemp Fest, what would that be?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just the atmosphere. It's a wonderful place to spend the day. It's
these aren't?
Relaxing, groovy thing to do.
And if you had a chance to encourage people to become part of your community, what would you say to that?
Great. And
I don't think it needs much encouragement. Once you go topless, the breeze is all the encouragement you need.
Awesome.
Keep doing that.
Well, we're going to go out into the breeze here in Seattle and get back to having some more party time at the Seattle Hemp Fest with Casper and friends. Later. Oh, thank you very much.
Incredible.
It's nice to make new friends. Thank you. Hello from the Hemp Fest here at, 2012? Is that what year?
I believe it is. Last time I looked.
Well, the last time we got together face-to-face like this was in 1991, but since then we've been great friends, and you've been a guest of the show.
Many times.
Oh my gosh. And
we were younger men, apparently.
And you brought a lot of good joy to the show and a lot of good news along the way, and you talked about how the reforms have been here, reforms have been there. And now we've got a lot of progress still, but we got in Washington, D.C., people drive by medical marijuana clinics, and then these same people drive by them are making laws against marijuana. Isn't that weird?
I suspect that's going to have a positive impact. Not initially, of course. Initially, you're going to have members of Congress who are horrified that there's a dispensary a few blocks from the Capitol or whatever. But the reality is, what they're going to see is the sky doesn't fall. People still got up and go to work every day. This idea they have that somehow if you legalize marijuana, we're all going to sit home on the sofa and get stoned all day. So I think it will do them good to see that you can legalize marijuana either for medical use or for all adults, and nothing really changes other than you stop wasting law enforcement resources chasing smokers, and you raise a lot of money from taxing marijuana.
And people say, well, if you keep it outlawed, then people are not going to be able to smoke out in public, and people aren't going to be able to smoke at events. Well, I think that's not true.
Oh, no,
You know,
no,
that's
no,
not
no.
going to stop us.
I agree. I think
And at an
we've
event
been
like
smoking now, so why wouldn't we smoke next time?
But we do encourage responsible use of marijuana. We, you know, it is very important.
I got a lighter.
All right, it is very important that you don't fly an airplane, you don't drive a school bus, you don't. Right, but if you got a day where you're spending with your friends and you're hanging out and trying to be, you know, have a normal day like everybody else, then you might want to hang out with someone like Keith here from the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. Is that what it's called?
It is indeed normal, and in fact, I would tell people, we all know that marijuana is a lot of fun to smoke because it increases your appetite, you appreciate food more, you appreciate music more, you appreciate sex more, and that's all good. But I think it's more than that. I actually think for most marijuana smokers, they develop an ability to kind of enhance their life. It actually improves the quality of my life. It allows me to stand back half a step and see my life and put it in a little better perspective than I think I did before I smoked. So I think we need to get the courage to say that in the right situation, smoking marijuana is a very enriching experience.
It is, and like when two old friends get together like this and share memories and
It's like
fun
communion.
times. It is.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like when I first started working for Jack Hare, and somebody from the normal office contacted me and wanted me to leave a message for Jack and communicate. I sent a letter to your office, and they called Jack. They wanted to know why it was I addressed it to NORMAL.
Who knew? It's an acronym. You know, when we picked that acronym in 1970, acronyms were big. You know, you had NOW and you had other groups. So normal seemed like a good acronym. It was before the internet. If I would have realized the internet was coming, I would have kept the A in the acronym.
Yeah, you would have
because
done
it's
that.
more natural. Now, the truth is, if you go up to the internet and get anything close to normal, you know, Google, it'll get you. So,
Now, what do you think of all, you know, like when I was working in Jack's office, when we had a hemp fest, it was like 3 gypsies and 2 stoners and one entrepreneur got together and pitched a tent and said paper fiber fuel. And I looked at this amazing event that we got going in Seattle.
I have been to many events as you have, where they're good people. I show up, but sometimes there are more people on the stage than in the audience. You know, I mean, you're sometimes speaking almost to an empty room. But the 2 events, or the 2 groups that seem to have figured out how to pull this off, mostly, of course, the best is the Seattle Hempfest. They get 100,000 people a day for each of 3 days. It's an incredible event that's totally volunteer labor. It's just beautiful to see. The other good one, the one that's significant, is the Boston Freedom Rally. It's only one day. It's a month later. It's in September. I think they've been doing it for 25 years. And they get maybe 40, 50,000. It's not as big, but it's right on the Boston Common. It's historic. It's beautiful. Right in front of the State House. And I'm proud to say that in 2008, Rick Cusick from High Times Magazine and I managed to get ourselves arrested smoking a joint at the Boston Freedom Rally. When we went to trial, they tried to drop the charges. We said, no, we want to go to trial. And we took the stand under oath and said, of course we were smoking a joint. What else would you do at the Boston Freedom Rally? That's the whole purpose.
Exactly, exactly. And when a lawyer says, no, don't drop the charges, you know you're in for a long day.
Actually, the prosecutor kept saying, oh, well, that's all right. He said, if you'll just pay the fine, we'll drop it. We said, no. They said, well, we'll drop the fine and we'll just drop it. We said, no, we demand the right to go to trial. He realized that he had arrested the wrong people. We weren't the slightest bit afraid of him. You know?
No, not at all. You were looking forward to it.
When we finally got to trial, the judge says, now, how much marijuana is involved? The prosecutor holds up his bag and has a half a joint.
Like one of these?
Yeah, about that size. And the judge says, you want to go to trial on that amount to the prosecutor? And the prosecutor says, well, we'll drop it. And that's when we said, no, we want to go to trial. They couldn't figure out what to do. I don't think they'd ever have defendants, so want to go to trial.
That rocks.
We're reaching a place in this country where, because the majority of people don't think marijuana smokers should be treated like criminals, if you have the courage on a minor case to go to trial, you got a fair shot at getting a jury nullification. And that's the ultimate weapon of the people. Jurors, even though they don't know it, the lawyer can't tell them, they have to figure it out themselves.
Right.
They can find that you committed the crime, but they can still refuse to convict you because they don't think it's fair. and that there's always been that power, and until about the 1850s, and Finch lawyers didn't tell the jury that. Of course, changed it now. It's a mistrial.
Right, right. Which doesn't make any sense.
No.
You know your rights.
Yeah. But some people do know. You know, you've got groups that go around trying to educate jurors. So,
Yeah.
So I'd say if you've got a minor marijuana offense, if you're not facing jail, if you don't have a risk in jail, don't ever accept a plea. Go to trial on that son of a gun. You'll probably get acquitted.
And it might actually make everybody say we got to change these laws. It's clogging up the court system.
Oh, yeah.
And it's something silly.
You know, if everybody that got arrested, 850,000 people last year in this country, if everybody actually demanded a jury trial and refused to accept a plea, we've shut the court system down in 30 decades. But of course, most people don't. Most people are just scared. They want to pay a fine, get the hell out of there.
Right.
But it's feasible to do. We can stop the system.
That would be great. Well, I can't believe after all this time, Keith. Seriously, it has been a lot of fun.
My pleasure.
And we've been shoulder to shoulder in this foxhole for 20 some odd years
right.
now. You've been in it longer than that. When did Normal start?
1970.
1870?
No, 19.
Oh, 1970.
41 years.
Wow. You got a big anniversary coming up every year.
Yeah, we were. I was just out of Georgetown Law School 2 years from college. 7. And we thought at the time it might take as long as 10 years to legalize marijuana. I guess we were a little optimistic. But we're almost there now. I do believe.
Well, thank you again for having some fun with Casper and Friends here at the Seattle Hempfest 2012.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.